Hello everybody, Paul Flood here again, and I welcome you to another version of our video marketing moments for the marketing hams, which are the students and clients of mine who are studying the hidden asset marketing system, which shows you how to increase your sales, get exponential increases in sales and profits without having to spend more money on advertising. We've been talking a lot about the unique selling proposition. The previous few videos have been on the unique selling proposition and trying to understand your core marketing message. Spend a lot of time on it, and it's very, very important that you understand the reason for it. Once again, you're differentiating yourself from your competition. You're defining the reason that a customer is going to want to buy from you. When you think of all the things that you're doing in your business, that's a pretty critical one. When you're hiring new staff or bringing up or putting up a website and you start talking about graphics and talking about to brochure designers and sales letters and things, everything is going to focus around your unique selling proposition. That's going to be the core marketing message. You know, obviously there's a lot of things that you can do with advertising, a lot of things you can do with marketing, but when you start off with your unique selling proposition, if somebody is putting together a web page for you or somebody is putting together a TV commercial or radio commercial, you make sure that they understand that the elements of it that you're talking about that said this somehow or another does need to be communicated is the unique selling proposition, which is why does somebody want to come and buy from me now? What am I doing better? What am I doing differently? So that message should always be included in there. Okay, I'd like to get back a little bit before we talked about the how we start off with the unique selling proposition being 90 words or less. What are those words? Obviously, it depends on your product and it depends on your service. When I'm writing a unique selling proposition, as I mentioned in the previous video, I don't start with trying to come up with a catchy phrase or a catchy slogan. I'm not looking to put together an advertising campaign. I'm trying to to tell your customers and your prospects why they should buy from you or why they should buy from me right away. So that's the core element of your unique selling proposition. After you have that refined and you have your unique selling proposition down to that 90 words or less, as I mentioned in the previous video, what you want to do is now start wordsmithing it. Where can now you take it and make sure that you do have sales-oriented language, and you want to have benefit-oriented language in there. Read it out loud. Be sure that you're reading your unique selling proposition out loud and play it back. Play it back frequently. Put your recorder down for a couple of days, put the unique selling proposition down for a couple of days, and come back to it and play it back again and see as it makes sense. In general, you're going to want to be using words that are going to be understood at like anywhere from an 8th grade level to a 10th grade sophomore year in high school level. You want to use easy words. You want to use easy words to remember. Avoid big, long words that you might even use them in regular conversation, but sometimes your average consumer is not going to understand it. And you can also got to remember that there are a lot of very, very educated people with not a very extensive vocabulary or who are not tremendous wordsmiths. They may have had a different field of study that didn't get them into it. Another thing about your unique selling proposition is to be sure that you're avoiding any type of industry language or industry jargon. When you start looking at something, always ask yourself, when you're telling a customer about your unique selling proposition, now if they didn't know anything about your business, would they understand every word that you are saying to them? So if you're, we've all had the experience of going into a big box retail or maybe looking at a flat screen TV or a stereo or a computer, and somebody comes up and starts talking to us and we look at them and say, you know, that's really wonderful, but I really have no idea what the hell you just said. So can you say that in language that I understand? So you've got to remember that if you're in a retail environment and you've got a 16-year-old kid working for you, they've got to be able to say it as easily as everybody else in your operation. So it's got to be simple, it's got to be clear, it's got to be succinct, and it has to state that major benefit. Another part of an exercise that I look at when I'm going through for a unique selling proposition is that everywhere I have the words like me, mine, or ours, how can I take those words and instead make them you, yours, theirs, something that you are saying, you're talking to someone directly. Remember, you're not saying I'm doing this and I'm doing this. Actually, you are saying I'm doing this, but I'm doing it for you. So let's take those words, you know, wordsmith it down, make it simple as possible, cut out all the unnecessary words. If you have some friends who can proofread it for you, that's absolutely wonderful. Particularly if you've got somebody who's got some copywriting experience, then that really helps quite a bit as well. You know, when I look at some things, I say people, you know, would you say these words out loud to somebody? I'll read a unique selling proposition that is very, very wordy, and it's using vocabulary that is above somebody else's level, and it's also not something that you would say in a normal conversation. Speaking in conversational terms, and that's also a reason that for recording it. So when you play it back, you're saying, okay, well, that makes sense. I understand it. So we've spent a lot of time covering the unique selling proposition, and it is very, very important for you to understand that it's got to be done. It's got to be, it's an exercise that takes quite some time, or it can, sometimes you come up with it right away, but in general, it's going to take some time. And always remember that you can change it, particularly now in the days of the internet, where you just go and change a couple of things on our website and everything has changed, versus in days past where you print several thousand brochures and you decide that that's not exactly what's supposed to be, and you end up with several thousand brochures in the closet that are not making anybody any money. When the next video marketing moments, we're going to get into step 2 of the unique selling or of the hidden asset marketing system, and that is going to be the integration of your unique selling proposition and the importance of making sure that's in every area of your operation. So as we go along those lines, you're going to find that I think you're going to be quite surprised at how quickly this is an area where you now start to get dramatic increases in sales and profits, because when we talk about integrating the unique selling proposition, we're also going to be talking about sales training. We're going to be talking about bundling, cross-selling, and upselling, and all those types of things that you start to look at. What can I do to increase the average sale value and the average profit per sale? So Paul Flood again signing out here for another version of our video marketing moments. And as a reminder as well, that I am available for personal consulting and personal coaching for you for your marketing, walking you through the hidden asset marketing system. I will coach you through that, go step by step. And other people just like to call me up and use me as a sounding board and say, hey, what do you think of this idea, or what do you think of this idea? So I'm also happy to do that for you as well. So when you need some help and you want to, you're always, I do offer a free half-hour consultation to start the program. If you'd like to do that as well, I'm available for those types of consultations. So I look forward to hearing about your unique selling propositions. I'm also available for reviewing your unique selling proposition. I can give you a couple of quick comments on it, but once again, if you do want to hire me for a full review of your unique selling proposition and see what we're going to do for the next step and how you can make money on it, then I'm available to help you out with that. So hopefully you've enjoyed this Marketing Moments, and it's Paul Flood here signing out, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.